Shaka, we know the history that goes behind this exclusion for so long. From a player's perspective, does that have any sort of influence in the locker room with regards to a disruptive influence?
No, I don't think so. None of the players involved in the squad today were parts of the squads where that Benzema once was, and he has shown time and time again, probably for the last decade, one of the best number 9s in the world game. I think as far as this dressing room goes, it's a welcome addition to have him. As good as France have been, as much as they've won, it probably has been their weakest department over those last championship wins. That number 9, and you have somebody like Karim Benzema being left off for disciplinary reasons. As a player, you welcome him back in.
Well, he's actually Olivier Giroud, as Frank will know better than us, has done absolutely brilliant for him. And we know Deschamps likes a big physical player up there, and Griezmann and Mbappe can work off Giroud, and it's worked very well, clearly. But here's the deal. You know, Benzema not quite as physically imposing, but not far off it. He can also do that job.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a natural goal scorer as well. But in all fairness, at international level, so is Olivier Giroud. But clearly, if you're given the choice, I think Benzema would be the one to lead the line.
Frank, is there any concern that this could upset the dynamic in the locker room?
Well, they're all professional players, so they will have to behave that way to make sure that everything works. But we know that Benzema made some comment, comparing himself as a Ferrari when he compares Giroud as, I don't know, a very bad kind of car. And that might stay. That might create problems if they don't have a discussion. But as Deschamps has been asked, he said that he talked to Benzema, and he said if he picked him, it's because he knows that there won't be a problem in the locker room. Otherwise, for sure, he wouldn't have picked him. It's what he said. The question has been asked, and he answered that way. So I guess everything was put on the table, and everything is clear between all the players, especially at front. Can you imagine the name of the player that you have at front and the competition that you have? But if Benzema decided to come, it's because he knows that he can be on the bench, and he will have to accept it. That was the same problem that Cantona had when in '98, Aimé Jacquet came to see him and said, I want you to play as a striker. I don't want you to play as a number 10. And Cantona decided to not come. Benzema has decided to come, so therefore I think he has accepted everything Deschamps asked him to accept.
It's not really fair, though, is it, Frank?
It's not really fair.
For the other countries?
What you're saying. Yeah, but all the countries have talented players as well, and it's all about chemistry. You don't need stars. Stars don't make you win. It's a plus, but you have to find the chemistry. And we saw so many teams, winning because they had good chemistry between each other. It works that way. Remember the Netherlands in the 70s. No, you were too young, maybe. But they had all stars, but they never won. They played two finals, but didn't win.
I doubt Olivier Giroud and Karim Benzema will be rooming together. But,
no.
Unless they're all in single rooms these days. But back in the day, it was about saving money, Daniel.
Right, thanks for that.
But the one thing that I would say, I would imagine that Olivier Giroud, that Didier Deschamps has canvassed most of the sides, most of the guys, and asked, look, this is what I'm thinking about doing. How do you feel about it? And I think if the majority had said to him, this is going to upset the apple cart, he probably wouldn't have done it. But I think, obviously, he's got a very positive response from canvassing players. And if he hasn't canvassed them, then that's a bigger problem.
Right.
But I would imagine he's not that stupid, and so he knows what the deal is, and he doesn't see it as a problem.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.